Supreme Court or constitutional judges. If you guys still have any questions about the motion, I can answer them now, or we can start. Yeah.
People don't elect the judge. Yes?
No.
In this case.
Yeah, the judge is usually appointed by the parliament.
Okay, and Parliament appoints them. Parliament will recall them.
No.
People will recall all the judges.
Sorry?
Who will recall the Supreme Constitution?
So they're recalled by an election.
By ordinary people, yeah?
Yeah, it's voting of ordinary people.
Okay.
Yeah? Everyone clear? Cool. So I'd like to invite Vladislav. You have the floor for the next 7 minutes. Hopefully these answers will make your case stronger, not weaker.
So good evening to everyone. And before I'll start to present our case, I will make some interpretation of this topic. So, we talk about the situation when the judge stand on their position by the parliament, and after that we let the local society or ordinary people to make election in the question of recall this judge from his position. Why the local society can do it? They can do it when they don't sue that judge take injustice decide or take this decide in with wrongs in a legal mechanism of take this decide and after that, they can initiate the vote to recall them. In my case, I will show you firstly why the local society can do this, and secondly, what will be if the local society will not do this. So, firstly, why the local society can recall the judge. Now we have in many countries this system when the courts is one part of the triad of branch of powers, where we can legislation, executive, and court systems that who decided the people problems and who makes or organize people life. But only a branch of court is the most closely to the society than other branch, and as a result we have the situation when a judge decide people fate. But people don't know who will stay on this position and who will decide this fate. As a result, people can don't sue that this man will be really competent in his work. That this man will know the situation that is in this society, or that the problems that in this society. No. And as a result, we say that local society have a right to know who will represent them, and local society have a right to control these people, because if this man decides their fates, and this man is stay closely for these people in the question of state, they representative state and decide their fate. That's why we say that people can recall judge, because judge decide people's fate and decide their problems. And after that, let's see what will be if we will not do this, if we will not let people to recall the charge. In this situation, if the judge will take them unjustice decide, and we understand from unjustice decide that was make or in wrong of the legislation, or made with the wrong of the legal mechanism of decided legislation. No, and in this situation we will have in status quo we have the situation that people can do nothing to change this situation. Judge will take unjustice defined, and people will not can do anything without this. No, they just can go to another instance, and it's a question of mechanisms. It doesn't matter. And we saw that in this situation we will have more effectively and more justice court system, because if the judge will have a responsibility, and why we will have responsibility, will so estimate, we will have more effectively and more justice court system where the judge will be under society control, and in this situation they will not take injustice decide. That's why we saw that people, ordinary society, have a right to recall the judge, and if they won't have this right, they will lead to them social trouble, because people don't be agree with this decided, and as a result we will have different social troubles, because we have different examples in Ukraine where people don't decide of the judge, don't agree with judge decides, and they will go to the streets and make different troubles. So that's why we say that we can and we should to let the local society to recall the judges. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker, for your speech. And now to open up the opposition case, we have the opposition leader. Here.
Good evening, police. I represent the opposition, and we believe that judges from Supreme Court and Constitutional Court should not be recalled, because we cannot vouch that this change will be beneficial in the long run. We know that constitutional judges are appointed for life, and if we start recalling them, that might lead to the whole judicial system crumbling. Why I think that will happen? Because we appoint judges for life because we want to avoid pressure being applied on them by the political opponents, or maybe powerful businessmen, with anyone. So if we make the judges vulnerable, if they will think that their position is shaky, they can be recalled at any moment, that might influence their decisions in the court. And we want to avoid that, because that leads unavoidably to corruption. So we won't get rid of corruption, we will only foster it further. And we even might see judges recalled every parliamentary election, which will be a disaster. And we don't know if new judges that come in their place will be any better, because supposedly we appoint the best of the best to be constitutional judges to sit at the Supreme Court. So people who come after them might be even less qualified, and they will be appointed by the same procedure. So we have no guarantee that they will be any better. They probably won't be, and they will be in double jeopardy, because they now are afraid to lose their jobs if they do something wrong, if their political opponents don't appreciate some of their actions. We also agree with the positions that, for example, local courts, they can recall, their judges can be recalled, because they operate in a very limited field, while Supreme and Constitutional Court judges have much more functions than just deciding civil cases or criminal cases and so on. They have the mission of making decisions on the level of the whole government. We might suggest counter motion, maybe to change the procedure of judge appointment, to make it perhaps more complicated, more foolproof. But once the judge is elected, we must all agree that this is the best we can choose at the moment, and to stay with this decision. That's my comment.
Thank the speaker for his speech. Now the Deputy Prime Minister, you have the floor. You're here.
Good evening to everyone, to the players, to the Jews, and my speech I will start from a little rebuttal to the speech of the leader of the opposition. One of your ideas was how we will understand that the next Jew will be better than his previous, and how they can show his professional competitions. But before the election of the Jews, every candidate must have a special test examination for his professional skills, and very often if other Jews judges, yes, thank you, judges elect the new Jews, judge.
It's fine.
Let other people. He will be better than previous, and up to I with my teammate, we no, thank you. We think that if we will have the judge election system, it will be it will be very good element of control of the judge, because in status quo, judge understand that he may have any conclusion, and if this conclusion will be wrong, he understands that he saved his chair. In our case, he will understand that he have that other judge has control to him, and this judge may provide more better conclusions. Yes.
But it's afterwards system. You have employed this judge and then recalled you. You are not solving your problem.
Sorry, I'm not a law specialist, and for me it's really deep question. you may ask what. Yes, and our second argument, that is the judge will face his own substitutability. In status quo, judge will understand that he is insecure, his chair is insecure. In our case, his every legitimate conclusion will influence on his reputation, like a professional Jew. If he breaks his professional reputation, other Jews can remove him from his office, and in this case, Jews will be more responsibility for their conclusion. And my third point that in our case, Jews will eager to learn for increasing his own professional competitions. Jews will understand that if his professional skills won't improve, his conclusions will be less objective, and this thing will raise the risk that other Jews will recall him from his office, and in this case, Jews will be more professional because they may analyze more information and may learn new knowledges and improve their professional skills to be more competitive from other jurists. Yes.
How do you understand the process of recalling of judges, please?
No, for me, it's very hard questions.
Simple.
For example, the Jews systematically will say uncorrect or wrong conclusion, and other Jewish judges understand it, and they can recall him from his office for the better candidate on this place. And in general, this system of control will be better for improving the judicial system at Odessa. And that's all what I want to say. Maybe you have any information? No, thank you.
Speaker for speech. Now close out the first half of the debate. We have Deputy Leader of Opposition. You have the floor. Here.
Good evening. First of all, one more time I'll introduce the point of your government. You introduce a recall for Supreme Court and constitutional judges. As we understand this theme, Supreme Court and Constitutional Court is a special institutions that are over all courts in the country, and judges in those courts are the best specialists, and they have a very long professional career, and they are appointed there with deputies in our Parliament, in Supreme Court, some of them for whole life, and some for 9 years, and in Constitutional Court for whole life, so without any limits. That has a sense, because as government told us, we have 3 branches of power in government. We have a legislative branch which made our laws, and they propose those laws, and this is the branch where we elect those deputies in our parliament that they can provide us with more useful and more adequate laws. and every 5 years or 4 years or 6 years in some countries we re-elect them for our laws to upgrade, for opportunity for others to be introduced in legislative power, in ruling the state. Then we have an executional branch of power. No one is elected there, because executional power branch is a government that is appointed with parliament and all other levels of executional branch are appointed. And then we have a court branch, where no one also is elected. Why so? Why does the system work so? Because when we speak about elections, the only mechanism of recall is when someone is elected. That's why I ask you about this. Because you can't recall someone for whom you have no opportunity to force, just to force to recall him. You haven't elected that person, you don't know anything about him, and you don't have any levers to recall this person if you haven't elected it. If we speak about Supreme and Court and Constitutional Court, we have judges that have their career in courts maybe for several years, 10 years, 12 years, 20 years, and they are appointed not because of they are appointed because of their professionals of high level. As said my teammate, if we will recall it by people who haven't appointed them, it will be the system that crushes all courtesy system. Because we can recall our deputies, because we elected them. If we can recall constitutional judges or Supreme Court judges that were appointed but by our deputies, it will be some misunderstanding with why have we elected those deputies if they have chosen those judges in Supreme and Constitutional Court. So maybe we will just provide a more strict, more adequate system of appointment of those judges for the whole life. For them, they rule the questions that touches all the state problems, and Constitutional Court rules the problems which consider constitution, main laws, and judges in Constitutional Court do a lot of jobs that have a lot of pressure just doing it, influence all the life in this country for many years. And if they have another pressure that they could be recalled by the people who even don't know law maybe and have no sense in juridical system, it will be another pressure for them, and they won't and they wouldn't execute their duties properly, and it would be worse for those two Supreme Court and Constitutional Court. That's why we think that recalling like a system of people who vote recall judge back is bad, extremely, as our government said that any people can recall, so common people can recall judges if they don't like the way they judge. I'm sorry for the word here. Thank you.
Thank you for the speech. So now to open up the second half of the debate, we have government member. You have the floor for the next 7 minutes. You're here.
Okay, let's start. So we're talking about Supreme Court and Constitutional Court, and the main point in this case is that this court makes the last point in the most influence cases in the society, and the society also have an obligation and some possibility to speak about it, to have some mind about it, and to make some decisions about it. So these cases is actually important for us. What our op told us about the system will not change about in question. Well, it's questionable because it's not about the changing of system, it's just changing about personalization of the court decision. Because if they want to recall some judge, they personalize the decision he made, because they don't want this judge to be a judge, so they don't want this decision to be a decision. As they personalize the negative association with this judge to the negative association with this decision. Also about crash all the system at all. It's also questionable because it's not about the crash of the system. One person is not a system, and recalling of one person we can't say about all the system and bad consequences for each. And the last is about people don't really understand it. People do not really don't know law or something like that. It's not about a democracy society we are talking about. They have an obligation. They have a right to go for election. They can do it without some understanding or not understanding, but they have the right to do it as the most influence, and we'll show you why. So why actually people should need a possibility to do this in a democracy setting? We are talking about it if we have a supreme or constitutional court, as we should understand. First thing, when these judges don't make unlaw decisions, so they don't make unjust decision and unlaw. We need to have it to realize as an action for such decisions. They just absolutely understandable for us that I am law, and mass media told us about, because it's understandable how systems actually work. Because if they can make such unlaw decision, and how government actually laws or the state actually law about after showing what mass media and what people do it. So we need to have it in this case. But the most important, when we have a possibility to do recall, if they make formally law decision, but injustice in understanding of the people. And this we would like to show it in two cases. Firstly, because of democracy, and secondly, because of correlation with justice and law as it should be. In a democracy, we need to understand what actually people are in our democracy society. We do believe that people create this country, and the most important for them to have the state as a servant and not as master. So they need to have as a state as a servant of the people and the people's creation. People create law because they create negotiations which law is actually enforced. So after they create some negotiation, law is engaged in that negotiation which people created, and after that we have some state regulation of it. People's negotiation and people's understanding of justice just can change, so the people can have possibility to make it change if the law is not as efficient to change as people's mind change. We do understand that people have a possibility to take a referendum in such cases. We believe they have right to do it. We also believe that people have the right to demonstration. We believe that people have the right to say this what they really believe in our society, how they should do it in our state. If it in a democracy country recognize such rights of people for democracy, for a referendum, we also should understand the influence of these people, how they can create all the system of these judges and the decision they should. Yes, your point.
What is the main goal of referendum and demonstration and so on of society in democracy?
The main goal of the demonstration and referendum in society to change what they don't like. In the democracy, they don't like something, they would like to change, like a demonstration or referendum. we do understand they want to change the negotiation, how it is in Supreme Court or Constitutional Court about their decision. And people, the most important, has the right to change it. It's not about some bad, because we can't talk it about from the government position, because government for these people is a servant and not as master, you should understand. Secondly, the second point, why they should have the right to do it and why it's correct to the people to give it, because we understand what is actually the court decision. Court should do the correlation with justice and law. Yet in some cases, and a lot of cases, we have some formally under law decision. So they do it as a formally under law, but formal law. But this decision is not justice in such cases. And if these cases are also coming to the Supreme Court and Constitutional Court, they actually need to make some to change it, and the people have the possibility to give their own vision of justice in it and to change, to recall this judge and to change it. So the most important of the court is not to have some interpretation or some given some connection is just under law. It's just a possibility to change a law system. Is there a possibility to change it at all? What do people believe? And actually, the last point, we need to understand why it should change it if we propose this motion. Because for now, we can change it by government or something about it, because we do understand how our court just creates some decision, and after these cases, when justice will be recalled by people, it will be influence for all society, because they will see not only the recalling of the judge, they will see the case why he was recalled. He will see the problem of negotiation and understanding of law of how he is recalled. And this is a possibility to change this negotiation, and people have the right, because they are the most important in our society to change, to make every change they want to make it. And because of this recalling, and because of having how they create some discussion about it, they can change the system at all, and to create the most to have the power correlation before law and justice to make the system what they want in the society, so to make them happier in the society. So because of we need to have some things to allow, not to allow some unjust decision, or not or to change the system because our people can do it. We would like to propose this motion. Thank you.
Speaker for a fine speech now. The only team that has spoken yet. Closing opposition. You have the floor. You're here.
Anything? Dear ladies and gentlemen, some point of rebuttal for our government. The first of all, the court is the highest institution in each country. It's not true, dear government. We have European Court of Human Rights, for example. We have some highest qualification commission of judges in each country, and so on and so on. We have also the most higher institutions that we have, which we have appellation to this institution. It's the first point. The second one, you said us about formally law but unjustified. It's very dangerous way, dear speaker, because when we have law, we have some system, and we want to check. We can check this, we can change this, we can read this one, and so on and so on. What about justifying? Justifying is something individual. Is something for me is justified, and for you it can be unjustified. And it's very dangerous when we make this decision and give this decision to the people, to the society. Why? Because for society the tasks, the taxes maybe are not justifying. For example, we can make decisions that some kind of decision of the court is unjustified because majority make decisions. No, thank you. Because majority make decisions that are unjustified. And we have the situation right now that if we think that this decision was unjustified, we have the opportunity to change this. We have the opportunity to change the law based on which the court made decision right now in this moment. And when we give the justifying to the society, it will be wrong way, dear government, because every country, every society, every people understand justifying to own way, and it's not justifying for all society. It's main point, and it's very important. No, thank you. About our case. First of all, we want to say that we have some system when it works in every democracy country. We state some rules, and every country live under this rule. This rule is legislation system. We agree that in democracy only people and society make the decision of what the rules should be in this country. And it's now it's election of parliamentary members. So we are building the law system, the legislation system, and under this system all courts, all decisions are making in society. And it's only one rule that really justify in each country. What we have in the case of our government. Our government said us that if majority of society don't agree with this decision, so it's wrong decision. Dear speaker, it's not true. What is the reason can be when the majority of society, no, thank you, don't agree with the decision? First of all, it can be the decision is really not under the law and it's unjustified, and the law system describes this. So we have two options. First option, we wanna give this appellation to highest instance, for example, European Court of Human Rights. For example, if we really know that this judge is not under the law, yes, we can change the system using a high qualification commission of judges. And this situation is solved, so there is no problem. No, thank you. For example, the next reason of the society disagreement. I dislike system. The court make decision under the law, and I dislike this law. And when the society has the opportunity to change the law, they really wanna, have to make demonstration, have to make referendum, and they change law system. Why? Because we need to understand that if this decision is incorrect, if this decision is unjustified based on correct law, so we need to, we don't need to another decision based on this law. So we need to change this law, and all other decisions will be justified and correct as society thinks. Yes.
It's actually not only about changing the law, but about the interpretation of this law. Because every court just gives their own interpretation of this law and makes the decision just based on the interpretation and not the really what law is actually justified for society.
Thank you. It's my third reason when society disagrees. When I really dislike this position, this decision, but it is under the law, formally law, as you said. If society will have the opportunity to make the decision what justified and what unjustified, it's what a bad system, because the system will work wrong way. Because in another way, another society, we will have another decision, and another majority maybe can bring us to this decision. And it's wrong way, because only courts that have legislation education, that know all kind of law in this country, because if they don't know some law, it's our first reason, it's incorrect and unjustified, and we can appellation to this court. And if they really based on all law system, society in current time can be in emotion, society can be irrational, society can be based on just one law, and don't know about another law, another second, third, and so on and so on. So society will be wrong because are not judges are not have juridical education, and they are not, the majority of society cannot know all the law system as judges have. So we think that if we give this opportunity to society to make decision, it's a wrong way, because society have to make, have to change some system, and then every decision need to base on this law system. Thank you.
Thank the speaker for his speech, and now close off the government's case. We have the government with, or no? Yeah. You have the floor.
Yeah, just. Okay, Mr. Speaker, I would like to clarify some things. We absolutely believe that the government is the servant of society, but not the master of society, and we are defending this position from the beginning of our case. And my teammate was giving you the case about this. So, but our opposition our oath tells us that the problem is in the system, that the problem is in the law. But we are telling you, no, it's not in the law. You're just finding the wrong reason of the bad decision. You are telling us that the law is bad, and that's why the whole society is not satisfied in this decision. That's why they are recalling these judges. But we are telling you that it's not the reason of the bad law. And if you know, if you understand that there is like, for example, 20 judges and just one judge is not okay for the society, then the society has the right to recall him. We tell you that okay, we assume that these judges are good, these judges are capable to make to deliver the decisions. They are okay. We believe to the system, we believe to the law, but we do not believe to the one judge, and we have right to recall him because we understand that he can ruin all the system because of the unfair judge. And my team had told you about that this only one judge has to be recalled just because the public and the society has the right to recall him, and because the society believes that without this judge, this decision will be more justified. Moreover, no, we have a clash about the justice and what the justice is, and as I understood, all agreed that the justice is the decision of majority. And if we have a decision of the society like a majority, so the majority of the judge and the majority of the society tells us that the one judge that is going out of this justice system, out of this majority, is not okay for our system. We are telling you that the society has right to recall him just because we do not like him, because we understand the point and the range of this the weight.
Yeah, explain this evaluated system, and I understand that I don't like this judge, this one judge.
Okay, we just do not understand how could you understand this situation in other point. Yeah, but we see. Okay, how we see the recalling judge in the lower courts. I see the judge, I understand that he can deliver the wrong decision, and I make a recall. I don't see what's the problem. Look, I am society. I see that this judge is making the bad practice. That his practice is going wrong in this. It can harm their point and the matter of this case. So and I as society make a decision to recall him because I understand that he can harm the resolving of this problem. So yes, I see this. Thank you. I see this this example, like when I see that this judge can be not efficient because he is injustice because his decisions is not okay for me as society in previous cases, and that's why I decided to recall. I didn't see the problem here. Moreover, we tell you that the clash, the one clash here was the problem of what the court, the Supreme Court and the Constitutional Court, what is the matter of their acting in the judicial system. And we are telling you that they are not, and here's your problem, here's your lack, is that you are looking for the reason in the law system. We are telling you that the problem is not in the law, because we assume and we see the law is right, and we understand why we want to recall him, because of this judge. I understand that this law can be misinterpreted. And I understand that I do not want to become this misinterpreted. And I, as society, want to know. Thanks. And I, as society, understand that the whole judge understands the problem, but this one is not. So, okay, I deliver this decision and recall this judge. Moreover, you. Yeah, okay.
If you have misinterpretation of the law, so we should need to adopt the new law that describes this situation of this concrete
Okay, I see you just do not understand the problem of the institution of law, you know? Like, because if society makes this law, if this law according to this society exists according to this society, then this law is capable to exist. Why are you looking for the problem in this case? Because we understand that this society accepts this law. This society see that this law is truly, and we understand that this one judge is not right for our society, and we tell you that we have right to think in this way, and we do not think about the outcomes here. We are telling for now, and in this case, in status quo, we are telling you that we have right to recall him. Just because we do not like him, the majority do not like him, the system of law do not like him, and that's why we understand that the justifying of this decision is recalling of this judge. What I want to tell you also about what I want to tell you also about that my teammate told you about the problem. No, saved me. Look, we told you that the case of the Supreme Constitutional Court is interpreting laws, and we assume that this society accept this law. We assume that the society accept the judicial system. We understand that society doesn't like this judge, and we believe that we have right in this case because we understand that it's majority and the justice is on our side, and moreover we understand that his decision as it can be won't correlate with the justice system, and we understand that in this case, because of the matter and because of the weight of this problem, because we understand how important this case is, we understand that we can harm this judge and maybe harm this system, but we need the right decision for our society, and that's why we have right to recall him. It will be more efficient for us than the other way of this motion. Thank you.
Thanks, Speaker, for that speech. And now the last person to talk, the closing opposition whip. You have the floor and the chair.
Thanks, everyone. My task is just to clarify some points in this case. But first of all, a little bit example. When a doctor came to the parents of a dead person and said that his child or daughter or so on is dead because of his decisions, parents, we thought that it's the fault of the doctor. But we are saying that we can charge the doctor because of some percent of aliving this person. We're saying that the doctor must to help this person, and if it's dead, it's the problem of the whole system. Now to the debate. On the first half of the game, we had very understandable problem. It's illegal or unjustifying decisions. But yeah,
in your example, if you talk about two parents, it's okay. It's a simple case.
Yes,
But you talk about a lot of parents,
a lot of people,
it's not possible
a
to
lot
judge
of people think that the death of the person is bad, but it doesn't mean that this doctor make a wrong decision. That's the point. Okay, we're talking about illegal and unjustified decision. This is the problem which tried to solve the first government. But it was just clarifying and understanding that, first of all, we can solve this problem just recalling this judge, because it makes decision, it's first of all. And the second, we don't understand how it works, how people can understand that this decision was illegal or this decision was unjustified, because the main case of opposition was just explaining that people can consider it. People don't know all the things that know these judges. People cannot make a conclusion about the decision. What can they do? They can answer the questions, do they like this judge like a person or no? Do they like the decision that makes this judge or no? But they can't answer on the main question. Was this decision legal? Was this decision justified? And in this point, we're thinking that the main idea was in the case of opposition. We proved that even if person can make decision, can understand and make some thoughts about the decision of the judge, she can't answer on the basic question. Was this decision justified and legal? Next, let's go to the second part of the game. We were talking about the main thing. We were talking about formally law decisions which are just in the eyes of the people injustifying.
Yes, actually also about some point about European court. They can all react by European court because they need to be a chair, definite or a chair. They are divided in this court.
I understand. I need to continue. We're talking about formally law decision, but which are first wrong interpreted by some person. It was the one of the bad law guys in the case of government, or another, it was some decision which are formally justified, but all the people think, oh no, it was a bad decision. And let's make this case and look what could be happened or not could be happened. First of all, Igor showed us we want the system work without some persons. It means when we change or not change a person, system works the same. How could it be? It could be by good law. It means that we have some frames. These frames are made by people. How? These frames are made by laws, by government, and government is elected by people. We understand it. And all the judges are working in the field of this law. If some person or majority of these people are not justified by the decision of this person, it means only one point, that these frames are wrong. And if these frames are wrong, we need to change something. We need to change something in government. We need to change something in law, is the first point. The second point, it's unjustified because I think so, but the law works good. What does it mean? It means, for example, when we are talking about about country which need to provide some law or some decision which are not supported by the persons. Why? Because it would be a little bit worse to life, or you need to pay more taxes on something or something else. How think the real person? In my mind, it's bad decision for me. How think the system? We need to solve the problem of the whole society. We need to solve the problem of the whole government. That's why we need this law, or we need this decision. And it means that one person couldn't interpret this decision, because this decision will influence in some time on all the persons. And this is why we're explaining that justifying on the one person
could not be, and the main idea to recall this person. And the last, the pushing on the decision. In the case of the government, we will have the judges which are not thinking how to make a right decision because to the law or knowing the law. They would make the decision and thinking how to make not good decision, but how to make the decision which would be liked by a group of persons. We don't need such decision. We need decision based on the law, but not by justifying this group of people. We are talking that basically we have the government and the system, and the system must work. Besides, you like some person or you don't like some person. And that's why we are talking that we cannot give this instrument in the hands of the people which cannot clearly decide and make decision. That's all.
Can we see some feedback or not?